think most bass players would agree that Victor Wooten is definitely one of our top influences for sure. He's definitely top tier in I'd say every single aspect of music. The man has every single technique that you could imagine on the bass and more, and does it better than anyone else you could imagine. But what I take most from Victor Wooten's playing is actually the simplicity, his use of the stuff that we already know. He does all sorts of things that we already know how to do. He just does them incredibly well. And I think that's really the essence of what good playing is. One of my absolute favorite Victor Wooten lines is Stomping Grounds from BELA Fleck and the Flecktones. And again, I love that for just the reasons I stated earlier. It's that it's the simplicity in it. When I first bought the Victor Wooten book, I thought I was in for quite an eyeful and earful. But as I read through it, I just looked at it and I said, I can do all this stuff. It's all just simple little scale patterns. And, you know, one of the things I really loved about it was the double stops and the tenths he plays, the harmony he creates. I'm a harmony junkie. You know, for a bass player, I absolutely love listening to the way notes work together. So one of the things I love in that part is, or in that song is, right, so just going down a G major scale, right, from the third, just going that B, A, G, so he's playing the two notes together, and then to a C and an E. He's just doing a C, or dyad, right, he's just giving us the first and the major third. Sounds absolutely genius, but it's really simple when you look at it, right, and then he kind of stretches it out, he just moves the harmony in opposite ways. That's really cool. You know, generally when we might go up, do, and we might go up that way, but he's going backwards with the bass note and up with the melody note. That's just beautiful to me. And it's just simple little major pentatonic lick. Even just the bass line itself, he fits in all sorts of really cool little sneaky things, but it's very simple otherwise. You know, we think of just going from a G to a C. That's probably something we all do if we learn Motown riffs and things like that. That's very simple. Just the major pentatonic, 6, 5, brings us to the 4. But he sneaks in those little harmonics on the G and the D string. Oh, and you can hear those ring together and give them that C add 9 feel. That's so cool. I love all the stuff he does in there. And the rest of it is just simple little scale runs, diatonic runs. It's all really following all the stuff we know. He's just executing it marvelously well. I would liken Victor Wooten's playing to my absolute #1 hero, John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin. And I'd say Led Zeppelin 2, being my favorite album, is the one I would liken it to, because that's where I get most of my inspiration from in John Paul Jones' bass playing. I really noticed how much the melody stood out. It's very melodic lines, and just like Victor Wooten, it's very simple stuff, because it has that Motown approach, just using major scales, mostly major pentatonic, and arpeggios, and simple little chromatic runs, and things like that. And I find that that's reflected in Victor Wooten's music. That simplicity is at least reflected in his bass playing. And, you know, songs like the Lemon Song, where it never really repeats and it's totally improvised, but it's still just an absolute beautiful melody. And it sounds like a contrived melody. And that's what I always love. John Paul Jones stuff always complements the song perfectly, as does Victor Wooten's. It's that simplicity, just simple stuff done very well, that I think is the essence of really good music, and more importantly, really good bass playing.